Hello everyone, it's Kusum here, and today we are starting with the history 8th standard. And today I have taken the second chapter, that is from trade to territory. This is the first part of this chapter. You will soon get the second part also, because the chapter is quite lengthy, so I have tried to cover the few topics so that there will be a better understanding when you will refer only the few topics, or suddenly if you will go to read or to understand the full chapter, it won't happen. Okay, so let's see what we are going to study in from trade to territory. Here it means that this chapter will give the explanation of East India Company or the Britishers, who were the they were the like Britishers, and they used to live in the eastern side of the India. So that's why they are called as the East Indian companies, and they in the initial stage they just try to trade with the India. They were not intentionally to set up the industry over here, to acquire the territory, or to set up their kingdom over here. It was not intention of this thing in the Britishers mind or East India's company's mind. Okay, so but slowly and gradually they started setting up here, they started acquiring the land of the India, and they started setting the territory over here. Okay, so in the starting they only came with the purpose of trading, but slowly they started setting up their territory by taking our Indians land. Let's see how the story begins, how this Britishers came and who has given the permission to them. And we will also see in this chapter that only Britishers were came in India, and who were other people who came or who visited in India. Okay, so let's begin. So East India Company comes east. Now here in 1600, East India Company acquired a charter for the ruler from the ruler of England, Queen Elizabeth I. Here what happens, in the England there is a rule, if someone is going out of the territory to do the trading, they need to get the right, they need to get the approval from the Queen Elizabeth I. So this Queen Elizabeth has given the permission to the East India Company to do the trading with the India. Okay, so here what happens, this company came across this ocean, and you will see from this picture, see, this is the way from where they came to the India. So these people, East India people, or you can also call the Britisher to them. So they came from across the oceans and looking for a new land for which it could buy goods at the cheap price. First of all, the main motto of this Britisher peoples was that they will come here, and they will take the some of they will see first what are the beneficial things available in the India, and they will take that all materials to the Europe or the England, and they will sell out there in the high price, and they will make the profit. Okay, when they came to India, they got many items over here in the cheap rate, many items in a cheap rate, and they have taken back to the Europe and sold at a high prices. So by doing this all activity, they made a high profit. So from this, they started acquiring, or they started having the interest on India's land, because India was blessed with lots of crops, lots of food items, and lots of other materials also. In the coming slides we will see what were all those material in which this all Britishers were interested. Now it is not only the East India Company or the British, it was also the Portuguese peoples, Dutch people, and the French people also arrived in India through the ocean route to do the same, to do the trading. But you know, if there is if territory is one, and on territory, if many people are coming from the different direction and they are interested in the same product, definitely there will be a conflict, there will be a arisement of the conflict in that situation. So similarly happened, this conflict arisement between this Dutch, French, Portuguese, and the Britishers. Let's see First of all, we should know that in what product they were in more having. This all outsider peoples were having the more interest in the cotton, silk of India, then pepper, cloves, cardamom, cinnamons, and many more were the products in which they had shown the interest. Not only the Britishers but also the Portuguese, French, and the Dutch. Okay, so after having this products to demand in the Europe, and they like slowly they started coming to India. They used to take this all products and they used to sell in the Europe, and they started like making more profit. But here what was happening, here more competitors were there, like Portuguese, Dutch and the French. So here they started fighting with each other, and they started, they used to come from the sea route. They started sinking each other's ships, and they started blocking each other's route. So this led to a rival ships from the moving supplies of the goods, and this led to a conflict. Okay, so by this whole situation, company found it difficult to separate trade from the politics. So from this point, there is the involvement of the politics in the trade. And now if we will look only, but from this like Dutch, Portuguese, and the French, from this the winner is the British East India Company. They anyhow they wins all the battle, they wins all the fights and the conflicts, and they had now a strong grip over India's territory. Let's see how it happened. Now East India Company begins trade in the Bengal. So first area you can say that it is a Bengal, over which they have set up the first English factory in the 1651 over Hooghly River. Now what was the work of this factory? Factory had warehouse where goods for export were stored. Okay, so they need to take some of the goods from the India to the Europe. So this Bengal is a place, or this first English factory where they have set up the place where they will get their goods packed, and they will store there, and after some of the time they will carry back to the Europe. Okay, so to do this, they need to take the permission from the ruler, or the whoever is a ruler of that area. So anyhow they persuaded Mughal emperor, that is Aurangzeb, to issue a farman. What is farman? It is a royal order. Royal order means if the Mughal emperor or the Aurangzeb is giving the permission to the British to do the trading. Okay, so very easily they will do the trading. If farman, they are not getting the farman from the Aurangzeb or the Mughal emperor or from the king, then trading becomes a very difficult task for them. So easily this time they got the farman from the Aurangzeb, and they started slowly doing the trading with the India. And you should know that from the India they take this, or they pay the Indian people a very less amount for the same product, and for the same product they sell in a high rate after taking to the Europe. Now how trade led to the battles? In the starting we know they only came for the trading, but it led to the battles. Now what happens for the battle? Here in the India we were having the king rule. So kings were there, and this all Britishers were coming here, and they were doing the territory. They were doing the trading and all. They were purchasing the goods from Indian people, and all this type of activities was going on. Okay, so this was seems to be something disliking by the our kingdom kings. So you will see that 18th century the conflict between the company and the Nawabs of Bengal intensified. Slowly the conflicts was arising, but at the end, at the 16th century, the conflicts has intensified, and after the death of Aurangzeb, the Bengal Nawab asserted their power and autonomy. And you will see that after the death of the Aurangzeb, regional power fell with the Murshid Quli Khan, and followed by the Alivardi Khan and Sirajud-Dowla were the Nawabs of the Bengal. So same like they were also the Nawabs of the Bengal. So from this Nawabs of the Bengals, this Britisher used to take the farman, and they used to trade. But what happened here later in the coming later period, every king were not with the same mindset. So some kings have not were not liking the Britishers, and that's why they have not given the permission to trade. So this led to the conflict. Okay, definitely if you're the king of any territory, you will make sure that you have to remain in the power in that territory. But what Britishers were doing, they were trying to acquire all the powers slowly on the Indian territory. So this led to the battle. So Britishers were refusing to pay taxes. Even, yes, this was the main reason why they were refusing to pay the taxes, because if they will pay the taxes, they will make the less profit. Whatever the product they will buy from the Indian, they used to sell to the Europe at the high price. Okay, if they have to pay the tax for the same product, then they will make the less profit. So that's why they were refusing to pay the taxes also, and trying to humiliate the Nawabs and the new officials. And they were started humiliating the Nawabs, and Nawabs are the king of that territory, or the kings of their kingdom, so they don't want this type of behavior. So this was also the some of the reason to turn the trade into the battle. So today we will do up to here only, and in the coming next video I will come up with the next other topic which are remaining of this chapter. This is the content is from the NCERT 8th standard history. Okay, so first, okay, one term is that is confrontation. Confrontation means a fight. So a conflict led to a confrontation, and finally a famous battle of Plassey. So in next video we will look for the battle of Plassey. Thanks for watching.